Hey folks, John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location, and today we've got a car here that is an absolute beautiful addition to our inventory here. So it's going to be a pleasure to kind of walk around this car with you folks today, go over everything that I can kind of point out with you, and of course, as always, if I do miss something, always keep in mind you can go to our website at www.hanksters.com. And again, there you're going to see the description, all the options, all the photos, the videos, and so forth. So as we are standing here, we've got, like I said, a beautiful 1968 Chevrolet Chevelle. This is an SS396. True SS car here, because again, according to the VIN number on a Chevelle, if we have the 138 that it starts with, it is in fact a true SS. Now again, the paint on this car, we'll just give you kind of a brief overview and then we'll get into our walk around. The paint is just absolutely gorgeous on this car. A nice, like a deep red or like a burgundy color here. It does have the white stripes all the way around the car here, which kind of helps to break up that color, but gives it a very, very nice look here. The SS hood, all of your chrome bumpers. Now, as far as the running gear on this car, the drive line, it is in fact a 396 cubic inch big block Chevrolet car. Don't believe that it is a numbers match motor, but nonetheless, it is a 396. It does have the Tremec 5-speed manual transmission in it. And it also has a 12-bolt GM rear end, posi unit, 411 gear. As far as our gear and so forth here, we've got power steering and power brakes. And this car here actually has all 4-wheel disc brakes. It does have a disc brake kit on the rear. It's got the slotted rotors back here to help with cooling and so forth, so you don't experience any kind of brake fade. Just a good addition to the car there. That's kind of a brief overview of it. So as we start our walk around here, you're going to notice first and foremost our bezels here with our front indicator lights, side marker lights here. They are the 396 bezels, and the lenses on all of those marker lights are in great shape. Wheels and tires here on this car. As you can see, they've elected to go with the classic look of the Krager SS chrome steel wheel here. Again, like I said, a very nice classic look for this car. They are 15-inch wheels, and then it has a very nice set of Cobra Radial GT tires. Now up front, those tire sizes are 235 60 15s, but on the back, a slightly bigger size here. These are 275 60 15s, just to give it you know, a little help in the stance department, you know, give it that little bit tougher look there. As I mentioned, it is the 4-wheel disc brakes. It appears to be a stock disc brake on the front, so all of your components there are going to be easily accessible at any of your auto parts stores there. As far as our panel fitment and alignment here, as we come back to our door, you'll check out the gaps on the front side as well as the back side. Very uniform, very well panel fitment here. Your elevations as compared to the front fender and the rear quarter panels are excellent on this car, and of course all of your body lines all line up here. Some more of your chrome work or bright work. We do in fact have both the mirrors here, the driver's side and passenger side. You've got the round mirror here. Chrome is in great shape. That glass is in great shape also. As far as the glass itself goes in the door, your vent window or wing window, your actual side glass here, and your quarter window glass, all in excellent condition here. There's no chips, no cracks, no scratches to speak of on the glass. It's in great shape, and all of our moldings and seals all the way around all look to be in good shape. We've got the bright work here as far as your drip rail moldings here. Those are nice and straight, polished up really well. The other thing that I always do is I always like to kind of feel through that rain gutter there, and it is nice and smooth all the way around. Door handle, the chrome on that, also in great shape. So let's go ahead and open our door up. we'll get our first look at the interior now. You can see here all black upholstery here. You've got the front bucket seats, the rear bench, all the seat belts are present. So you've got those front and rear. You can see even on the seats there, you've got all that, the chrome, like the trim or the piping around the seats there. Factory dash, which is in great shape. Factory instrumentation, but it does include a few extra gauges. As you can see there, we do have a column mount tack on it. We've got the 3-gauge cluster down at the bottom of the dash there also, which is going to include your water temperature, oil pressure, and voltmeter gauges. You also have an aftermarket AM/FM cassette player in there, and as you can see there, aftermarket shifter, a very nice shifter for that Tremec 5-speed manual. It is a Keisler shift ball and billet shifter, just a real nice touch for the interior of the car. And in fact, this does have a tilt column in it as well. Door panels are all in great shape here. The armrest pads not showing any wear and tear on those either. And again, this does have all of the necessary SS396 badging in the interior of the car. The other thing we always check on each side is going to be all of our seals and our weather stripping up around the door frames, down your quarter window here, and around your door here. All of that is in great shape here, all securely fastened, all nice and soft there, going to seal up very nice from the outside elements. So we'll close this up. Again, that shuts nice and easy. And again, we'll continue our walk around. So the rear quarter panels, nice and straight on this car too. That's the other thing. We always check, we always look down the sides of the car, make sure everything looks nice and straight. We don't want to have anything waving back at us here on these cars. And this car is nice and straight on both sides. Now, as far as your rear glass, no chips or cracks in that either. All of your bright work is in excellent condition. You don't see any pitting or anything on any of this bright work, and you do in fact have a set of 6x9 speakers here in this rear package tray to go along with that aftermarket stereo. As far as the trunk lid goes, all your gaps, all very uniform on both sides here. So again, that trunk lid has been out or has been fitted very, very well on this particular vehicle. We get down to our taillight lenses and bezels. Those are all in excellent condition. No pitting on the bezels, no chips or cracks in those taillight lenses. The chrome rear bumper is in excellent shape here. There's no pitting there, no scratches, no cracks in it. Just a very nice chrome piece back here. And again, on your tail panel, you'll notice you do in fact have the SS396 badging back here as well. We'll next go ahead and open up our trunk. So let's go ahead and find our key and make sure that works, and it does. So again, the key does in fact work. The trunk latch, the hinges and spring all function as they should. And again, once we open that hood up, you're going to find more of the same thing on this car. Just an absolute beautiful job of, you know, having a vehicle kind of redone here. It is all the same body color here underneath the trunk lid. You've got all your rubber bump stops here for the trunk to sit down on once it's closed. All of your weather stripping here around the trunk is in great shape. No rips or tears. Again, they've got it meeting together right here in the center, all nice and soft and attached securely. And the trunk itself, this thing is in incredible shape here. Done with the correct black and aqua trunk spatter paint. You do have the partial trunk mat that does allow the provision for your spare tire. Unfortunately, on this car, we do not have the spare tire for it, but you do have the floor mats here, at least 3 of them anyways. You've got the one front along with the 2 backs there. That does in fact come with the car. Again, trunk's good and solid too. That floor, there's no patches whatsoever in this car. Just an overall great looking car. And as I'm looking at it here and you see it kind of sticking up here, the antenna for the radio, it is a power antenna. So that's going to come up whenever you power the radio up so that you have that, that good reception that you need for the radio. So we'll close this up, Again, shuts very nice and easy. Same thing with this taillight, lens and bezel in excellent condition. As I come around the back side of the car here and I look up the passenger side, it also is super straight the whole way from back to front. So we'll just kind of continue our walk around till we get to the door here now. And again, we'll stop here now, check our gaps here to the back and to the front side of the door. Once again, very uniform. Chrome door handles, chrome mirror, the glass, and all of your bright work, your trim here is all in great condition on this vehicle. And same goes for the glass on this side too. No chips, cracks, or scratches in any of the glass. Looks very good. As you can see, all your body lines all in alignment over here, and your elevations are dead on this side. Let's take a peek now from the passenger side. And again, this is just to, show you everything from both sides and all angles that we can here. Again, just your upholstery, there's no rips or tears anywhere there. The carpeting's in great shape with no rips, tears, or fading. I had mentioned those seat belts. They are the retractable belts up front, and it does actually include the shoulder harness belts also, which are strapped up there, up along the headliner there, as they were back in 1968 for this car. Again, so that's your interior from this side. Same thing, weather stripping, your seals and all of that stuff, all in excellent shape here, good and soft, attached securely. Again, just going to seal up very well from the outside elements. Door panels are all in great shape too on both sides. So we'll close this up. And we'll just kind of make our way to the front of the vehicle here now. Again, nothing really to talk about here, just the matching side marker bezel there, the 396 in that, and that brings us around to the front end of the car. So as you've seen, as we walked around the car, that white stripe follows us the whole way around. This is the way that stripe would have been done in 1968 for this particular model of car. As far as your dash, or not your dash, but your grille here, that is all good and solid, all intact. There's nothing that's broke, cracked, or anything, or missing. Everything's in great shape as far as that grille goes. Of course, you've got that matching SS396 to go along with the one on the tail panel. You've got your headlights up front here, your highs and your low beams, traditional sealed beam unit, glass lenses, no chips, cracks on any of those. And to match up with that rear bumper, we've got an equally beautiful front bumper on this car as well. No pitting whatsoever, no scratches, no cracks in the chrome. This thing looks phenomenal. Now, as far as we get to the hood on this car, this is in fact the steel SS hood. You can tell that it's got kind of like the dual scoops up here with your grille work up here and top. Again, those are in great shape. You've got the chrome or the bright work here along the back side of the hood. That's in great shape. Windshield's in great shape. No chips, cracks, or scratches. And again, the bright work around the windshield here up front, all in excellent shape. So let's go up front here. We're going to go ahead and work our hood latch and get this up in the air so that we can talk now about the power plant and some of the drive line to go along with it. So as we raise the hood up, of course, the underside done, same as the body color, so excellent looking under hood here. It's also got all of the necessary hood insulation installed just as it should be, and that's all in great shape. As you can see, nothing is hanging down, nothing's been torn. It's in excellent shape underneath here. Again, as far as the engine compartment, done here in the black, just as it should have been, and now we'll get to the engine here and start talking about that. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a 396 cubic inch big block Chevrolet motor. I do not believe it is the numbers match motor, but again, like I said, still 396 big block. As far as some of the components that we have on this motor, of course, you can see the chrome air cleaner with the 396 emblem on top. Underneath that is a Brawler quick fuel carburetor. 600 CFM is the size on that. It does not have an electric choke on it though, so basically what you've got there is what you've got. As far as intake, you can see it's got an Edelbrock air gap aluminum intake, so that's your carb, your air filter, your intake. That's all going to be your fuel and air delivery system here on this car. As far as the ignition system goes, all good stuff here too. As you can see, it's all MSD. It starts with the MSD distributor, the MSD blaster 2 coil, and then of course the MSD 6AL ignition box. All very good components. It's got a set of silicone tiger tail plug wires. These are 7mm, and again, as you can see, it does in fact have the heat shields to help protect it from those headers. These are a long tube ceramic coat header too, exiting into that full dual exhaust that we will touch on once we go underneath the car there and point out all of that stuff. As far as the rest of the components on the car, looks like we have pretty much your standard or your stock style radiator here, but they have upgraded it to the dual electric puller fans here. Again, that's a nice function that frees up the front of the motor there from running a mechanical fan, and again, the electric fans seem to be a lot more efficient at cooling. It's got the appears to be polished aluminum valve covers. You've got your PCV valve there. You've got a breather in the other side, a very nice looking set of valve covers, and then you've got your normal stuff. You've got stuff like your power brake unit over there. Again, as I mentioned, all 4-wheel disc brakes on this car, and it is power steering. All of your belts and so forth have been checked out. Before we get to the underside, I do want to tell you this car has an awful lot of stuff on the underneath of it that we can go over. And right now I'm just looking at one of the things that does in fact have the Hotchkis tubular control arms on it. All of your heater lines are all hooked up, and all of your hose clamps are good and secure. Radiator hoses, same thing. Like I said, I mentioned that, you know, all the belts are in good shape there too. So yeah, that's pretty much it for underneath the hood. Now behind this motor, again, we have that Tremec 5-speed manual transmission. Very good transmission. I mean, these things just fall right into gear. Very easy to use as far as the clutch and everything. When you compare it to like a Muncie or a Saginaw, it's just a much better performance-oriented transmission there for you. And again, having that 12-bolt GM rear end Posi 411 unit in there, it's going to be a very good, very stout rear end assembly for this car. With that, pretty much that's everything as we've done our walk around here now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a second to close all this stuff up, and then we're going to get that around onto our lift so that I can show you the complete underside. Like I said, tons of stuff to go over there, so I'll be right back with you here in just a moment to go over that stuff. In the meantime, like I mentioned, you can go to our website to check all these photos out, the description, all the options. Also, if you see something, or maybe you don't see something here on this car that we'd like to have on it, we do in fact do all kinds of installations and adding parts and so forth. I know on this car, just right off the bat, I can tell it does not have AC. That may be something that you want to add to it to get you through those hot summer months when you're cruising around. That is in fact something we can do here. So whatever it is, doesn't have to be AC. Just please reach out to us there. We'll be glad to get you a quote on parts and labor, getting that done for you in case you're interested in this car. Just want to add a few things. So with that said, we'll get her all closed up, get underneath it, show you the complete underside of this car next. All right, folks, here we are once again back here on our lift. We've got our 68 SS Chevelle here up on the lift. So we're going to go through this car, and as we kind of pointed out here on our walk around video, there's an awful lot of stuff kind of all around this car throughout it, and it just continues on to the underside here. So we're going to go ahead and go through everything. I'll try as best as I can to hit on everything here that we can underneath here. here and make sure that you guys are aware of what all, you know, different accessories and so forth are underneath this vehicle. So starting at the front, as we always do, I'm looking up at the radiator. I want to make sure that it's free of any leaks or drips. Again, aluminum radiator, nice and dry on the bottom side here, including even your lower radiator hoses. Hose clamps and such are all in good shape there. And again, it's got those the electric puller fans, the dual, I believe they're 14-inch puller fans there. That's going to keep this big block 396 motor here nice and cool on those hot days when you're out cruising around. Now, as we get back into the suspension, of course, that's where we're going to start getting into a lot of the like the aftermarket stuff here. So, as I mentioned, a lot of Hotchkis components on this car. So we're just going to start out here calling them out and going over everything. So first and foremost, we've got a sway bar here. It's 1.5 inches, I believe. Hotchkis front sway bar here. Bushings and so forth are all in great shape. Of course, the sway bar is all good quality stuff here. Sway bar end links as well are all in great shape. The rubber bushings and so forth. No splits or cracks anywhere. And that's going to keep this front end very, very tight on this car, and it'll corner for a 68 Chevelle. It's going to corner very, very well. As far as the rest of the suspension, you've got the factory lower control arms on this car, but you do have a set of the Hotchkis tubular upper control arms, which again make the car just a little bit more rigid. Those factory OE components, they sometimes have a little deflection and so forth on them. So again, the tubular stuff a little stronger, going to keep everything a lot tighter on this car. As far as the shocks, good Bilstein shocks here. Again, you can't get much better than Bilstein, so that's what this car has on the front. It is a power steering car, and again, we always check our tie rods, tie rod ends. Again, everything is in great shape, and these are very easily adjustable here too, in case you ever get into the you know, setting toe, or you know, just doing a whole complete front end alignment. You can just loosen up the jam nuts on either end here of your link, and then you just give it a couple turns, and you know, that resets you there. But again, the ball joints are all in great shape. Little rubber dust boot covers are all intact everywhere, and all looks good underneath here. And it is also a power brake car. We've got all 4-wheel disc brakes on this car. Looks like pretty much the standard up front here, just all stock OE stuff here. So again, when it comes time to getting those brake pads and rotors and such, should be able to pick those up at just about any auto parts store. But when we get to the back, it does have the rear disc brake kit on it with slotted rotors. We'll point those out to you whenever we get back there a little further. Wheels and tires, well, we've already seen that on our walk around video. It does in fact have those Krager SS steel wheels, the chrome there, and they are 15-inch wheels on all 4 corners with the Cobra Radial GT tires, which have excellent tread. These things are new. You can even see all the molding and everything on these tires. 235/60 R15s on the front. On the back, we've got 275 R15 or 60 R15s on the rear, just for a little difference in size. As we come into the center of the car, as far as the drive line goes, what we're mainly looking at here is, again, leaks, drips, making sure everything is nice and dry underneath here. So again, on the bottom of our 396 cubic inch big block motor here, our oil pan, again, it is nice and dry all the way around. Front seal, your pan gasket, the actual drain plug, and again at the back of the oil pan, nice and dry all the way around. The transmission, this is that Tremec 5-speed manual transmission. It's got the SFI blow-proof bell housing here. Again, if anything were to happen inside of this, this is designed to contain everything so that things just don't scatter everywhere. Again, transmission, everything, all your, you know, where the body all goes together at and everything, all nice and dry. Your cross member here for the transmission is in good shape. The mount itself is good and solid. And again, that output shaft seal where your slip yoke slides in, that is all nice and dry there. Before we get too far, we've got our exhaust. So again, we've got 1.75 inch long tube ceramic coated headers with this full complete 3-inch exhaust system all the way back on this car. That thing is going to breathe super easy here as far as the exhaust goes. You've got your crossover pipe here with a set of Flowmaster mufflers back there, and then of course the tailpipes exiting out the rear of the car, and those are 3-inch as well. As I'm looking up again, we're going to check out the frame. We're going to check out the floors on this car also. The frame and floors are all in great condition. Of course, your Chevelle is a full frame vehicle. So again, all nice and square. All of your hardware all looks to be in great condition. The floors are good and solid too. I don't see any patching whatsoever. No, just all looks good underneath here. You can see all of your bracing on the bottom of the floors here, all intact, good and solid. And again, emergency brake is all hooked up. So all your cables, all the correct frame hooks and so forth, running all the way back to those rear brakes, which again, as I mentioned, are disc brakes. Drive shaft is a steel shaft here. It is balanced or weighted. That's going to help eliminate driveline vibrations here in the car. And as you can see right up here, again, another safety feature here, drive shaft loop. So if anything happens to universals on this drive shaft, it's not going to just drop the drive shaft down and dig into the road or whatever. It's going to keep it all right up here, all contained to where it's not going to cause any extra damage to you. As far as the rear end itself goes, this is a GM 12-bolt rear posi. I want to say it's either a 410 or 411 gear in that. The differential cover is all nice and dry the whole way around, and it is that trick flow finned aluminum differential cover there, so a really nice piece there. As you can see hanging down here, it does in fact have the 1-inch rear sway bar as well, and again, more Hotchkis components back here. So you've got both the upper up there and then your lower Hotchkis control arms back here. These are all fully boxed, good, strong components here. The upper control arms here on the rear end, those are adjustable, and that's going to help enable you to adjust the pinion angle also on the rear end of the car. And then, as I mentioned, the rear disc brakes, they are a slotted rotor, and again, it does have the emergency brake option there. It is hooked up and it is functional, and it's got a set of air shocks on the back, which makes it nice there because you can adjust the rear ride height on the car, give it a little bit of rake, give it a little bit of attitude, or set it wherever you feel you're comfortable with to get the best ride out of the car. All in all, you're riding again on those 15-inch wheels, Cragar SS chrome steel wheels back here as well with those Cobra Radial GTs, and again, those were 275/60 15s. Now back here we've got the stock fuel tank here, which is in great shape. No dents or dings anywhere here. All of your mounting hardware and your straps there, those are all in great condition too. I had already mentioned to you about the tailpipes as well. Everything, the full exhaust, 3-inch, so, and that includes those tailpipes. And then the rear frame sections, those are all good too. The trunk floor itself is all in good shape too. Again, nice and solid all the way back through from the floors to the trunk floor. All of your fuel lines are nice and dry all the way back. Same thing with all of your brake lines go on this car. So all in all, again, a very, very nice car here. Very well built, very nice components on the car, and it's going to handle great, steer great. and it's going to brake awesome too with this 4-wheel disc brake conversion. And you've got all the performance in the world having that big block 396 motor with that Tremec 5-speed manual transmission. With all of that said, that's pretty much it for underneath our Chevelle now. What I always do at this point now is just kind of remind all you folks out there that we are in fact an ATC trailer dealer. We have multiple models right here on the premises in stock, ready to be sold, ready to be utilized to haul a car like this. So if you're interested in buying a car, or if you're interested in maybe purchasing a trailer, I would always ask of you to go to either our car website, click on the inventory tab, and you'll be able to check out our trailers there, or you can go to our trailer website directly at hankstershaulers.com. You'll be able to check out all the photos of all of our inventory. Pricing is there, descriptions, details, options. It's all right there on the website for your viewing pleasure. So with that said, we'll go ahead and let this car down off the lift now. And as always, we're going to open that hood up. We'll fire that big block motor up with this full 3-inch exhaust on it, and we'll get to hear what that sounds like next.